Alright guys, it's been a long journey, but we're here. We are at the finale of the Ultimate Self-Defense Championship. It's taken me maybe a little too long to get around to the end of it, but here we are, nonetheless. And also, I've got a little bit of a surprise guest, which you guys may have guessed who it is, that's going to be helping us with some of these fight analyses. I've waited a long time to watch this, just because this episode hits me in the feels. If you already know what's going to happen, you know, this episode sucks. I hate this episode. But it is the ending of what was a really big piece of my life, which was flying to Australia and competing for 7 days-ish in one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of. So let's just get into it. Do I want to give you guys spoilers? Nah, I'll wait.
It's been 5 days since the 6 YouTubers from all across the globe have been living
Look at your boy eating a salad. Look at my face. This is my face every single time I eat a salad. I'm just like picking it up and putting it down like, when are y'all gonna come get this rabbit food off my plate? There's Oreo, like look at this setup right now. What are we eating? Is this breakfast? Is it lunch? There's orange juice and apples and salad and Oreo. What is this mean? Oh my gosh, I don't even know what's happening. I don't know.
competing against each other in various self-defense challenges. Throughout this time, they had moments of triumph and defeat.
Thanks for using me as the defeat thing there, buddy.
And although during these challenges they were rivals,
Backfist.
they all agreed that after the championship is over, they will be coming out of this as greater friends.
It feels like walking into a room full of friends that I never even knew were my friends.
Yeah, all those guys are great.
They were still set to face each other one last time in the final challenge that will pit them directly against each other.
This is tough, because like, I've grown to like you guys. What's so hard is that like, I don't want to see you sad, but you want to win. But I really want to see you guys sad. Zing! No, I wanted to win. I wanted to win big time. Long story short, 3 different fights versus 3 different dudes. I think Ramsey had to bow out and Matt Clinton had to bow out. So it's me, Icy Mike, Rokas Leonivicius, and Jeff Chan. And I think, let's see if we can find the scoreboard.
One contender will dominate the fight or win it via submission or knockout. They will receive 3 points for
Or knockout. We were allowed to knock each other out? Didn't know that. Okay, so I'm down by 1 at this point.
And once this challenge is over, we will finally learn who has become the ultimate self-defense champion.
You know what that's from? No. Come on. I don't. He knows what it's from. He might not actually. He might not be old enough.
Okay, first off, he didn't include enough of me saying it in the clip, but I'll say it now and see if you can get it. Zach's gonna get it immediately. Drop down, hit the lip, super, drop down, drop. I'm obviously, let's see if Steven gets it. No?
No, definitely not.
All right, that's
what was it?
It was like a viral YouTube clip of a dude explaining his surf, like what he likes about surfing.
Oh, really?
He's just like
No, never
saying
heard
these
it.
random things. It's fine. Dang.
He has no idea. Unfortunately.
Okay, Steven didn't get it either. Talking about the dude, the clip of the surfer who's like,
And just smack the lip, whoop-ah, drop down, snap,
like, how do you not know that?
You know what I'm talking about? He has no idea.
Unfortunately, as the time for the
crazy.
challenge came, the contenders soon learned that there will be 2 new fighters who will join this challenge.
In walks like 2 of the biggest humans I've ever seen in my life.
Those are big boys.
And then I look at Mike and I tell him, Mike, I finally realize how you feel with me.
When they walked in the room, I pulled some self-defense, some magic, if you will. And I walk up to him and start chatting to him. I'm like, hey, what are you up to? At this point, if they're gonna be big, mean, and
Yeah, no, those dudes were huge, and I walked in, I saw them come in, and they look well built. So what they explain is that this guy, this tall dude on the right, is a Muay Thai fighter. He's got like a pretty good build for, you know, somebody of the nature. And then that this guy was like a wrestler, which he looks like he'd be a wrestler. But I talk more to these guys later. But yeah, this face pretty much sums it up. Like, let's see the difference in height here. Let's just take a look at this right here. Okay, that right there, I would call that unfavorable, okay? It's not in my favor at all. But talk to people, okay?
You make the call.
I'm too injured to compete at this point.
Yeah, I mean, with where Ramsey was at, everybody was totally understanding of him not competing. Like, it's just smart.
I'm out, I can't do it.
As Ramsey dropped out, his total score was also finalized, leaving 4 contenders and 2 additional fighters to fight each other. And once who fights who was chosen by drawing out ballots, the final details were revealed to the contenders.
Goran's had about 6 Muay Thai fights, and this is Hulla. He was Australian.
Hulla? Australian.
Years ago.
Mike is petrified.
Look at the difference. I think this is like my favorite clip. Look at this. Look at this. This is just too good. It's just great, man. This is good TV right there. Mike is gonna say he wasn't scared, but Mike was like, how am I supposed to hit that? How am I supposed to punch that? Mike could put his hand all the way up and still not punch that dude in the head.
We're fighting in the old Bruce Lee Kali weapons gloves as well.
I actually really liked these.
It's almost like you're wearing 10-ounce boxing gloves, but you can grapple somewhat with it. First one
I liked these.
taking you to is there's 2 doors. Half will be in that half will be in that half. You don't know who you fight. I'll come in and go, you're up, you're up. When you hear the whistle, you come out those doors, you just go straight in. You've got 20 seconds to do as much.
So once we get in this doorway, it's me, Hala, and Jeff Chan. I'm talking to Hala the whole time. Because I asked him, Mike asked him this question. I'm like, big boy, you ever play any other sports? And he's like, oh yeah, I played football. And I was like, oh, football, I played football. Where'd you play? And I'm like talking to him, and the whole time I'm getting my hands wrapped up first. And I'm like, I'm about to fight that big, tall dude. And I'm like freaking out. I'm trying to talk to Hala. So the next round when I go against him, we'll be cool. And I'm like trying to buddy him up. And in my head the whole time, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna have that big guy. I'm gonna have that big guy. And then about 10 seconds before it's my turn, I just completely switch, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna mess this dude up. I'm gonna sprint square across that room and punch him right in his big tall nose. Sorry, not that your nose is tall, it's just way up there. And literally, I'm like this. Pretend this door is right here. I was like this, and as soon as I hear a knock, I open up that door, turn the corner, and I'm just like, poof. And no matter whatever was gonna happen after that, that was gonna be the first thing that happened. There's no chance anything else was gonna happen. Also, check out this sick backdrop I just got today. I literally just put it up today. I'm so happy with it. Doesn't it look cool? I think it looks sick.
I am standing behind that door in a sprinter's stance.
They said that already, Seth.
My hand shaking.
I already covered it.
Like this.
This is a real B&H customer story.
This is a real B&H customer story. I think I'd have premium by now. Like the video, guys, so I can get premium. Boom. Knock. Watch the time difference between their door opening up and me coming out of there. I'm halfway across the wall before anybody even comes into the door frame.
I see a fist flying towards me and wham!
Oh, I threw a jab. I really expected to throw a cross, but I guess it was just closer. And then he ties me up. Very interesting. Puts me in a pretty good tie clinch, but I'm very familiar with the clinch. I don't mind the clinch. I got a strong neck. So I was like, okay, well, if you got both hands in the plum, I'm not too worried about the knees. We're safe right now. So I wait to disengage, and I throw this right hand over top right here. Oof. Touch him across the chin. Throw another one right there. Throw an uppercut. Oof, right there. I don't know if that landed or not. And then another overhand right here. Oof, those are very hard to see. Those are very small shots. They're hard to see. But at that point, I was like, okay, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I feel him lose his balance. Boom. And hit a little knee tap on him, which not super happy with. It worked, but I ended up falling on the ground and then just kind of I just kind of smother him. I over pursue and I end up on his back, and Rokas is so slippery. And I'm like, and at this point I'm like, oh crap, okay, this is fine. Don't jujitsu, just stand up. Because you're allowed to do that. And I don't know if you guys knew that, those who do jujitsu, you're allowed to just stand up. You just stand up. Why doesn't anybody ever do that? Anyway. Rokas throws. Oh, that one just glances by. That one ends up on the ribs. That one we just connect elbows. I remember thinking right here, I was like, I almost never throw elbows. Let's just end with a couple elbows.
I'm not doing that great. My strategy did not work out. I'm like, it's time to go down.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that left hand by Rokas. Look at that thing sneak through. Oh, it might have just missed a little bit. Oh, but that left didn't. Ooh, ooh, that's a good spot, dude. Okay, first off, I told you I was gonna throw some elbows. That was a mistake right here. I went to throw this elbow. You can see my hand on the backside like this. I just reached way too far for it. You can tell I don't throw elbows very often. Ooh, caught me clean on that one. And then I put my head back in. I'm like, okay, I want this one. But man, that was a great exchange by Rokas there. At that point, I was like, he's got to be demoralized. I'm just going to freaking smash him. And then he comes out and he's like, throws a beautiful left hand. I was impressed with that. All right, now let's go to see what Steven says real quick.
Oh, you're swinging? They're just swinging.
Fun fact.
He looks tall. He's like, what, 6'3"?
He's like 6'2", 6'3". Fun fact there, he captions himself saying, oh, that was fun. But he says, you mother... He lands a nice left hand in there.
Right here.
Right there. You did not say, "Oh, that was fun, Rokas." Don't lie to the people.
That knee tap right there, that was solid. Oh, put you in the lead.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So I took that one.
So much
Okay,
better.
cool.
I'm like, I'm gonna do this.
Because you got the takedown, you threw
Got
the
the
better shots.
takedown. Towards the end, you can't. It's a little. Honestly, Rokas did better than I thought at the end. I land a couple elbows. He lands a left. There's a bunch of shots in between before the takedown. They were like not in there. Let's just watch this a couple more times. Just throwing bombs. That last little bit was kind of favorable to Rokas. You see me kind of like bounce back and go back towards him, but I mean, that was close. That was a close fight. But I remember thinking, oh yeah, no, I obviously won that one.
Seth did more damage and dominated the fight longer. He receives 3 points, temporarily putting him in the lead.
The sophisticated plan to minimize the damage didn't give much fruit. Seth's plan to just go all out worked so much better. I'm like,
Oh, I didn't see that angle before. Oh, I didn't see that one before. This is those little shots I was talking about. So this is right after he clinched me up. Oof. Snuck in there with a nice uppercut. Does it show another one? Then I went right uppercut, I guess.
Icy Mike and Jeff Jan still
So this is the room we were in. This is what I was talking about. When I was with Hala, we were just sitting in this room.
had to find out if they were going to fight each other or one of the 2 other fighters in this round.
what was your reaction to the big guys?
Believe it or not, I was kind of relieved because I thought I wouldn't have to fight Sensei Seth.
Did you choose them or Sensei?
What a nice guy. What a quality guy. He doesn't mean that. There's no chance. He just wants to be nice.
For some reason, I kind of was.
I thought it was going to be the big guy, and I said, I'm going to come out and I'm going to throw my right hand as hard. I'm just going to go straight at him. Well, apparently on the other side, Jeff Chan's probably thinking the same thing.
Oh gosh, Jeff is just so hard to get your hands on. Nice double leg. Nice little elbow there by Mike.
A little bit of space.
Nice up kicks.
It's been my only thing that's been working for me this whole week against these monsters.
Also, that was a very nice takedown by Jeff. Jeff could have slammed him if he wanted to, for sure. Good up kick there by Mike. Those would definitely not feel great. This one was a point of contention for a little bit as far as the points go. Watching it now, I think that Mike obviously lost. I think that Jeff definitely earned those 3 points. Jeff wouldn't have been feeling good for sure, but I think he would have won. These 2 freaking goofballs weren't even fighting. They were there to just trick us and prank us the whole time. They were just there to scare us. Joke's on you guys. I wasn't scared. You're scared. You're scared, pal. I wasn't scared at all. I knew. There actually is a point where I walk off the camera and I'm like, I'm gonna kick this guy in the head. And then I walk away. And I was gonna try, but it wasn't gonna work. These 2 are basketball players for Jeff Phillips' basketball team. Quality guys, stand-up guys. Very scary.
It turns out the additional fighters were a trick to raise the stress and adrenaline levels of the contender.
It worked. I was sitting in that bathroom more scared than the dude who pooped his pants and was in a public place and didn't have another pair of pants to put on. It's the scaredest I was in that bathroom. Could you imagine?
I did this just to mess with people's heads.
Jeff Phillips is a sick person. He's a real sick puppy.
Those 2 guys aren't fighting anymore. That was just a fuck. That was with your head. I wanted that intimidation, throw a curveball, someone that you're not familiar with.
Hey, you are Listen, you exploited my friendship.
This was the door, and I'm in the dressing room. I saw Rokas go.
And as soon as I saw your head snap back, I said that was Seth.
That was nice of Mike to say.
Soon enough, it was revealed to us that the next fight will take place on a bridge.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of storytelling backstory here after the 3rd fight. I'll tell you something after the 3rd fight.
Seth was going to fight Icy Mike, while I was going to fight Jeff Chan.
This is a good fight. You can watch it on the finale. Go watch that video. That video deserves watching. We're going to skip that. We're going to go to my next fight. I don't remember what the points end up being, but I know that I have to beat Mike and then I have to beat Jeff.
I'm doing kata before we start to mess with him, but I just see him like this, standing like he's like Troy.
Okay, so first off, Troy was a city, not a person. I recognize that. That's my bad, guys. Second, Mike is easily one of my best friends. If I had if I had a MySpace like top 7, he'd be in that. He'd probably be MySpace he'd be like top 4, top 3 maybe. Yeah, he's up there. And we were like going hard. Like stress levels were high. I mean, I talked about how I was gonna open that door and smash somebody in the face, no matter who it was. Well, now I know it's Mike. So I was actually fine. Mike was having a hard time mentally going through the process of like, okay, I've got to fight my buddy now. Like he was struggling.
It's a up thing, a fight with a friend. I don't want to fight him, but then that him up.
Is everyone ready? Yep. Let's go.
Okay, so we come out. I really want to keep space from him. I don't want to wrestle on this thing because I don't want to go over the freaking thing. You couldn't even see it, but this doesn't like, this just drops off into a completely different floor. There's nothing underneath this. Jeff Phillips, you're kind of a madman. So he throws across, I pull, I throw across my own. Nice clinch there. Headbutt clinch. Actually worked really well.
He kicks me in the balls. I registered that he kicked me down. Feel anything?
Yeah, no, I didn't feel much.
I expected a head kick, a competitive streak, and we've been talking about landing head kicks on people.
That was a slick little head kick right there. Beep, 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 beep. Poof. Mike and I talked about this head kick later. It hit him right here in the soft and a little bit harder than I would have liked to be honest. That's part that the shin guard doesn't really cover up very well. So I just hit him straight foot to dome. This is really interesting. I want you guys to look at this. Look at this angle here. The knee comes up in a straight line, which makes it really hard to tell where it's coming from. And the foot goes like this, but the knee comes up in a straight line. So it's a lot of hip mobility happening there to land that kick. Otherwise, it can't come out that fast. So you have to sacrifice power for speed a little bit, but I'm not going to kick Mike in the head hard here. Does a good job of wrapping it up. Looks like he goes for like a toe hold, and I think I was just a little too big. I think I outweigh Mike by like at least 100 pounds, maybe 80, maybe 90. It's a lot though. So I don't know if Mike wants me to talk about this or not. Mike, I'm sorry. Mike ended up tearing up after that. He had a really hard time like processing that. We are good buddies. He takes care of me, you know, like we've been there for a lot for each other. So that tore him up. He had to walk out of the other room. I had to go assure him, be like, hey man, we're good. Like we're cool. And he's like, I know, it's just hard. And I was like, yeah, dude, it's cool. It had been a long, stressful week. And I get emotional too here. It's not about this, but I get emotional here too. So that's a fun little story, you know?
Now it was time to find out who won the fight.
My God, that's a solid knee to the nuts.
The whole event, I needed to be more aggressive. I needed to flip that switch, and I did, and I was slow to start.
This also becomes a point of contention. They're talking about, oh, well, should he have, you know, how many points should have gone here and there? But all this happens after all the fights are done. I won that. Let's see if Steven thinks that I won that, though. So they gave us a draw on this one. I won.
Yeah.
I pulled the head kick.
Yeah.
Mike and I know that, but all the judges were like insisted it was a draw because of the takedown afterwards.
Got you.
You know?
Yeah. Well, it's cool that he acknowledged it too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because most people are like, nah, bro, I caught that. You know, it wouldn't hurt me.
Yeah. So
but it's cool that he acknowledged that.
We even talk afterwards about what we think the score should be. Like we're involved in it, and we agreed on a draw. But there's a little bit of difference there that you guys don't know about because, yeah, I mean, I think I pretty clearly won that. I wasn't gonna smoke Mike in the head. Mike and I think that I won that, but it came down to us having a discussion in a room like 30 minutes later that was frankly kind of pointless because that wasn't really the second fight. That was the third fight. That was the last fight. And at that point, I already knew the conclusion of the fight you're about to watch.
Sunday, save thousands.
Oh my gosh, nothing like buying a hot tub at the state fairgrounds.
Contenders were invited to assess.
Yeah, so we'd already finished this, and they ultimately like just wouldn't stop. Like they kept going back and forth. Well, the kick to the nuts. I hammed up the kick to the nuts so much. It hurt, but like, you know, it was fine. So eventually, Mike and I were just like, we looked at each other, we're like, oh, whatever, dude. Tie. Shake hands. Golly, I hated that conversation. That was my least favorite conversation. There's nothing like vying for yourself against your best friend when you want both of you to win, but also you want to win more. So for the last round, Mike fights Rokas. It ends to an armbar, okay? So this fight that you're about to see is actually the second fight out of the three. Hence, we're blindfolded in this way. Anyway.
Know who you were fighting. Before we take off the mask, I say, you got 5 seconds? I can hear Jeff go, yeah. Jeff knew it was me off the jump.
Jeff Phillips. Jeff Chan didn't say anything, but whoever I was fighting, I knew who I was. So Jeff Chan has the nastiest double leg I've ever seen. And I know he can double leg me because we'd already sparred and we'd wrestle on his channel. You should check that out. Look up Jeff Chan Sumo. That should show up. I think in this close quarters, he's gonna try and double leg me. And I know it, obviously. So, what do? I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna get up. Watch these hands. Swoop! Sprawl, baby!
My just reaction was to shoot for the double. He sprawled really quickly.
I'm going to win.
Oh, dude, being bigger than somebody helps so much. That hip pop, like, that's a big difference there. Being able to have somebody in that position, put your hips into them, boom. and then lift them like that, way much different. But if you want to have an advantage over people, you gotta lift. Jeff lifts like no other. Like he's a madman. If you want to have an advantage over people, be strong, big, able to move fast, have good cardio, have all these athletic advantages, and know how to fight. So at this point right here, I put him in this position, I sit him down. My goal is to just keep him here the whole time. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can find... Okay, so this is the raw footage. I'm blessing you guys right here. You guys don't get to see this every day. You better subscribe. Go. Okay, so here we go, from start to finish. 1, 2, 3. At this point, Jeff does a really good job of getting his back off the couch and circling around. Great uppercut.
God.
How could this happen to me?
So I knew ahead of time that this match right here was going to be the deciding factor if I won or lost, because I knew it was me versus Jeff. So let me walk you through what happens here. So at this point, I'm like, let's just try not to make a mistake. Like, let's just control him until we can get him onto something sturdy and I can use my weight against him. So we get him here, and at this point, I've been trying to do this thing where I take my arm and I push it down on somebody's head like this, and then take this hand and start punching the head. Boom. So you can see me already starting to go for that. He throws an armbar over top so fast. I didn't even register this was an armbar right here. Right here, I'm like, okay, this is a weird position, but there's no way he can physically pump his hips up and through. So my arm's gonna be bent. I'm good. But I'm like, this is a weird position. I punch a couple times. I'm like, okay, I can't really punch from here. I don't like this position. So I make the critical error that lost me the whole thing. Jeff put himself in a great position. Now it was only up to me to do something stupid. I've never fought on a couch before. I did something stupid. You see that hand right there? You see his foot jumping up? I jumped over. I jumped into the armbar. Golly, and he cranked on this thing too. I'm fighting for it. I'm like, let me see if I can... This is what I like about Jeff. That time that you heard, that was the end of the 20-second fight. So if he wouldn't have cranked on it, he wouldn't have won. Jeff is that guy. Jeff is gonna crank on it, and I had to tap. Like, I think he would have broken my arm, and maybe Jeff will say otherwise, but I think he might have. And you know, if he broke my arm, he broke my arm. That's fair, you know. I think Jeff walks up to me, and I didn't really like... I think in my head, I'm kind of like playing it off as hopefully that tap happened after. I think we got up and Jeff was like, hey man, I can't remember exactly what he said, but I think it was probably along the lines of like, dude, that was really, like, you almost had me. And I was like, yeah, man, it was close. It was close. Shout out to Adam. I'm just so sad right now. And I just said, I knew I shouldn't have jumped over. Oh yeah, so I guess we didn't know who won at that point. Like, I remember being like, I tapped. Like, I tapped.
Was it before the bell?
It was before the bell. It was like 1 second. It was so close.
I'm like holding back tears right here, man. I really am. I'm holding back tears right now.
Wow. Dude, it was, I mean, for him, that's second nature.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he sees the arm, and
it was
legs,
beautiful.
You know what I mean?
It was beautiful.
But it was the jump over the couch.
I jumped over the couch.
That did you in, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I guess, yeah. Because he was in a pretty awkward position, I guess. Because you were still on the couch. He was off the couch.
There was no way he could have extended enough that my arm was like, I mean, I was like this. So I should have just...
Started throwing punches.
I was throwing him the whole time, and then I was like, I want to be over there.
And he just jumped over there.
No. And he hung on to it so well, too. What could I have done better there?
You did it perfectly right off the bat. You used your weight, you pushed up against the couch, but that's the thing. In my head, especially, I don't know if you were able to see the other guys go at it. You couldn't.
No, we just were put into a random room. We had no idea.
Because I was about to say, the couch is flipped over very easy. Yeah. And you can end up in a bad position. Yeah. Just like what happened with Icy Mike.
Yep.
Even though he was on top, he flipped over, ended up in like a triangle position.
Yep.
Same thing with you.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, it was very interesting how that went.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Just the obstacles being in the room played a huge part in whether you won or you lost.
Very true.
So I thought you did good. Just to flip over the couch was in a bad position.
So guys, make sure you don't flip over a couch. Check out Wonder Boy's channel. It'll be linked down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the whole Ultimate Self-Defense Championship
That was
thing.
cool.
It was a wild ride.
That was cool.
That was pretty crazy. And this is like, I think, the last piece of content that's made about this whole series.
Let's go, man. Right here.
Season 2, which you can also find linked down below. Jeff is so nice. Jeff's the best guy. If I didn't win, Like, there's nobody I would have been upset with if they won. But, like, this was such a good rivalry the whole time. And Rokas was up there, too. Don't get me wrong. But, yeah, no, I knew that was the end right there. This is why friends shouldn't fight friends. This is, like, so obviously, like, uncomfortable because I should be like, dude, congratulations. You know what I mean? But I'm sad. And Jeff should be like, like, he should be allowed to have that. And he wasn't allowed to because I was, like, being, you know, in my feels. You should split them up. Like, we should be split up. I should be allowed to be sad. He should be allowed to be happy. But we were in such close quarters that didn't really happen. So, Jeff, I hope that you were allowed to have that happiness, like, on your, 18-hour flight home. Oh, we broke the couch, too.
Okay, what we'll do is stack some...
That's me thinking, dang, that was this whole week. I came in second. This is me, like, processing this whole thing right now. So that's why I was goofing off for the second fight that you guys saw. Because I was like, oh, dude, I already lost. Like, I'm about to have a fun time with Mike up on this bridge fighting. Okay, let's go back to the regular one.
On his leg, go. Tap. Tap. Beep, 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 beep.
Thanks, brother. You would've.
I lost. Like, I lost a whole thing. I'm about to start crying right now. I lost a whole thing right then in one, like, in a fight that I felt like I was winning.
I'm obviously happy and proud, but at the same time, if there's any change in the rules, things could have been significantly different.
I've grown such a bond with.
That's for everybody, though. Everybody could have won or lost based off the rules. Jeff won. Jeff won.
You guys, like, I'm sad to go home. I love my life, but I'm sad to go home. I'm gonna miss you guys for sure. I'm also sad that I didn't win.
I'm such a big baby.
This is the first time that anything like this has happened. Now that we know it can be done, I'm interested to see what you do next. Doesn't Jeff have to defend his belt?
Season 2 is confirmed. If you don't already know, Season 2 is confirmed. It's gonna happen. There's a lot left. Oh, yeah, there you go. Season 2 is confirmed. Star-studded cast. Natan Levy. Jeff's coming back. We got Karate by Jesse. We got Ranton. We got there's more people. There's like a basketball player. It's gonna be hype. I'm very excited to watch it. I won't be participating. You know, I think after you lose this, like, what do you come back for? Let other people do it. Let them have the fun. Wish I could go watch. You guys could invite me to Australia to watch. Maybe next time. That's crazy. If there's a season 3, maybe I'll think about it. You know, in the States, come stateside. Anyway, yeah, that's the saga. All right, now I'm gonna go be sad for the next, I don't know, 2 days probably. Thanks for that. Thanks for reminding me, guys. Like the video, please. It's the least you could do. Bread. I'm not even gonna punch you guys this time. I'm too sad.